Hi, I'm Veronica Vance. Coming up, we get in on the fun of the Bassmaster Elite Fishing Competition, and then we check out some local brews on a bike and brew tour and at the Sherwood Brewery in Shelby Township, so stay tuned.
Production funding for this program was made possible by the Detroit Metro Convention and Visitors Bureau, driving tourism growth in Metro Detroit since 1896. More information is available at visitdetroit.com.
Oh, no! No, don't you do it.
Here on Clinton Metro Parks, Lake St. Clair is one of the best spots in the country for bass fishing, or angling as the pros say it. And Bassmasters ought to know because they're the pros and they brought the Super Bowl of bass fishing right here to the D. It's really a great family event and it's set up right along the canal so kids can come out and see what the fishing's all about, get excited, root on for their favorite angler. It's just a good time.
It is really cool just to be here in the Detroit metropolitan area because people don't really expect us to the Bassmasters, the best fishing tour in the world, to come to Detroit, and we're here, and it's really cool to be here and highlight the destination and highlight what a fantastic fishery this is out here. Lake St. Clair is actually rated the best bass lake in the country by Bassmaster magazine. It's one of our publications, and it's just a fantastic fishery, a lot of big smallmouths.
You go out there and they're just going for the biggest fish. That's the goal.
Well, the 5 biggest fish per day.
Okay.
And so it's a 4-day tournament, 100 anglers fish on Thursday and Friday. We cut the field to 50 on Saturday and 12 on Sunday. The weights carry over each day. Once you catch your 5th fish, you can keep fishing and try to catch another one and change them out, what's called culling. And guys are catching around 20 pounds a day to lead the tournament. About 41 pounds is leading the tournament right now as we head into the 3rd day. So you could think we might get around 80 pounds of fish for to win the tournament for a 4-day, which is great for smallmouth.
There's a process. They keep the fish
It's a very
alive,
very
right?
important process, and conservation is key. In fact, bass actually invented really back in the early 70s catch and release fishing. We were the first tournament organization to do that.
Okay.
So we want to make sure we keep those fish alive, we bring them back. So as quickly as the process goes, they'll get the fish out of the live well and they'll bring them backstage. We'll check them for how many of the fish they have, make sure they're the right size, make sure that they're alive, and they go up on stage. We'll weigh the fish quickly. We'll bring them back to a set of volunteers that will run the fish back to our release boats. And our release boats are basically pontoon boats that have been rigged up so that we put water in them, that the lake water that comes in them. We'll put them back in the water and into the release boat. We'll go back into the middle of the lake and we'll open some trap doors, and they'll go back in there, and they'll go back to their homes, and then somebody else can catch them the next day. And with Bassmasters being the biggest organization in the world when it comes to fishing, and the best tournaments that there are, the best anglers that are fishing here, coming to Lake St. Clair is kind of a stamp of approval, so to speak.
Right.
That hey, if the pros fish there, and I may live in Arkansas or in Missouri or in Alabama, and I want to try to fish smallmouth, I'm going to come here to Detroit. I've been to Augusta National, but I haven't golfed on it. I've been to Yankee Stadium, but I haven't played baseball on it. You could do that here.
So it is a really family-friendly event. They've got these little kids out here teaching them young how to start fishing. They've got this display set up. Look at, they're trying to get the lure in the mouths of the blow up there. All right, so this is fun. They've got another opportunity for you to come out and practice your fishing skills. So someday you could be out there catching the bass in the tournament, huh? Are you rooting for anybody in particular? There's 4 Michigan people.
Got to go for Kevin Van Dam, right? He's a local boy.
That's what I've heard,
Yeah, right here in Kalamazoo, I do believe.
Yes, it is. It's exciting, huh?
Very exciting. This is really neat, more than what we expected.
Yeah.
This is awesome, man.
It's awesome. And you guys got your fishing nets. Are you boys fishermen?
Yeah.
You are? And look, you got your hat signed. That's another thing. The fishermen are real fan-friendly, aren't they?
Very.
Yeah.
Yes, they sure are.
So the time is counting down. They only have until 3:15 to come in. You can see everybody's lined up along the docks waiting for them. They give them a big woohoo when they come out. It's really exciting. And we got another guy coming in right here. So this is the process. They've got live fish in that bag and they're going to bring it over here toward the weigh-in counter. It's going to go from tank to tank and stay alive till they actually weigh it. We've got the live bass in there. There he goes, quick to the tanks. So as you can see, they've got these tubs set up along here. They've each got about 5 bass in their bags, and they're kept alive. They're filled with lake water until they actually get weighed, which is happening right over there in that big tub. What's really exciting too is once they weigh in, the fishermen, they come out here, they interact with the fans, they're approachable, they tell you about their experiences, they're signing autographs, shaking hands, taking pictures with little kids. They're just great, fan-friendly.
Fishing's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
there's not many places you can catch as many fish as you can here. The fish right now are getting into schools, and they school up according to size usually, and so you got to find those fish. And once you do, you just got to figure out how to catch them. I'm usually drop shotting a Berkeley twitch tail minnow. It's a little 3-inch bait, really easy for a smallmouth to eat, and you just got to get it down in front of them.
And just and then cross your fingers.
And cross your fingers that they eat it and set the hook.
I've been here a bunch of times. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite lakes in the whole country. You know, it might as well be my home lake. I come over here every chance I can, so
Yeah.
it's a great fishery.
What's the secret?
Just lots and lots of time on the water. That's the best thing. In order to get better, you just got to go out and practice more.
He's been an incredible angler of the year.
So now it's a really exciting part. We get to find out where they place.
From Kalamazoo, Michigan, 7-time Florida Bassmaster Angler of the Year, 4-time champion, BBD, Kevin Van Dam. 20-pound, 11 ounces, Aaron Martin in 3rd place, Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year.
So I'm lucky enough to be here with one of the superstars of bass angling, Kevin Van Dam. You're a Michigander, and what do you think about Lake St. Clair?
Well, you know, I've been fishing here for 20 some odd years, and this lake is, it's incredible. You know, it has just a huge population of a lot of different species, but my favorite is smallmouth bass. You know, I mean, you can catch largemouth bass here. I mean, it's great for walleye, perch, muskie, and all that, but I come here for the smallmouth bass. It is, in my opinion, the greatest smallmouth fishery in the world. You know, Bassmaster ranked it the #1 bass lake in the country. So you got to find where the bait's at and what they're feeding on, and match that with a lure, and you're going to catch them. I mean, that's the one thing about this lake, is they're always out there to be found.
Well, we've heard it from the pros. Lake St. Clair out here in Clinton Metro Park is not only great for bass fishing, in fact, so great that they brought their tournament here, but it's also a great place for family fun. Bikes and beer? Oh yeah. Throw in a little bit of history and you've got the Motor City Bike and Brew Tour. Let's go.
A reason why I started here, besides the gorgeous parking lot that we're all in, is the fact that Traffic Jam and Snug and Motor City Brewing Works, at least in the Detroit area, were the first of the small breweries that came back as the craft beer boom started really in this area in the 90s.
They like seeing us out there enjoying the city, so make sure that you let them know that we appreciate them allowing us to share the road with them as well.
Hi Steve, so I'm excited to go on this bike tour today. We're going to learn a bit of brewing history.
And we're going to learn about the post-prohibition brewing history in Detroit here. And today we're in front of Motor City Brewing Works and Traffic Jam and Snug Restaurant, and we're about to leave and go on our route that loops around downtown Detroit.
I'm ready. Let's roll. So we're starting off on Canfield, just pulling out of the parking lot at Traffic Jam and Snug. Now, what you were explaining, the difference between they were a microbrewery as opposed to an official brewery?
Opposed to a brew pub. So in the state of Michigan, you're going to have two main tiers, which is the microbrewery and brewery versus a brew pub. And a brew pub is what Traffic Jam and Snug is. And what they do is they have a liquor license and they're only allowed to produce beer on site and sell it on site. They're not allowed to sell beer through a distributor. In the case of Motor City Brewing Works across the street here, they're a brewery, and they can sell beer on site and also sell beer through a distributor and get bottled products out in stores. But as the industry continues to grow, you continue to have more breweries pop up because the consumer is looking for more bottled product for retail. Right where that park is, once stood the Zenda Brewing Company. Zenda Brewing Company was one of 4 Polish breweries that existed in the Hamtramck, edge of Detroit area here. So Hamtramck kind of came up over to here at one point, right?
How experienced of a rider do you recommend you be to come on this tour?
We really designed it for all skill levels. So the idea was we would create a simple 10-mile loop that really anyone, any average adult could bike ride. We wanted to have average folks that maybe don't normally get out and do this pothole have a chance to bike here. All right, keep going, keep going. The first building to my left here, where it says Metro Cold Storage, was at one point the Detroit Brewing Company. And they were in business from 1886 to 1948. And they were originally called the Continental Brewery. And eventually they relocated themselves back over here into Eastern Market and formed the name Detroit Brewing Company. So a lot of people don't realize that this Stroh's ice cream plant once was the Global Brewing Company, which was considered the second largest competitor, or the competitor that actually scared Stroh's in Detroit. And in 1985, across the street there, they finally closed the Stroh's plant. And they were still in business for another 14 years, but they weren't brewing any beer in Detroit at that point.
And what's nice too, the price of admission includes lunch and a beer.
So like our bus tours, we try to make the whole thing all-inclusive so that you can just come out and enjoy the day with us. We don't want you to have to worry about who pays the tab or who tips this guy. We really want to be like, we took care of everything for you.
Come
out and enjoy
have
your
fun
day.
and relax.
So in the bus tours, it's the same concept. You get on the bus, we go to 3 breweries in 5 hours. You do 3 tours, you have 3 beer tasting sessions, and everything's taken care of for you.
Now we're heading into the Elmwood Cemetery.
And we're gonna go by some grave sites of some former brewers, some famous brewers in the Detroit area here. August Goebel, the founder of Goebel Brewing Company, was born in 1839 and died in 1905. Bernard Stroh Sr. is who founded the Stroh's Brewing Company. And he's buried with his wife at the next stop we're gonna go to, and the majority of his family.
This part of the tour alone, it's gorgeous, this little gem that you take us through.
I would say that 90% of the people we've had come on the tours have never been in here, didn't know it really existed, and have told us that they really enjoy this piece of it. Stroh's River Place was formerly the home of Park Davis and Company, and it dates back actually to the early 20th century, brought back to all their glory. That's a big plane. Let me tell you, this is an exclusive tour today.
We arranged that.
Yeah.
You didn't know, I
We
forgot
arranged
to
that.
tell
That
you.
was all part of the shoot. So they opened this 1.3-mile stretch in It's not that hard to bike through the center of Detroit. You getting hungry?
I'm thirsty.
You're thirsty?
I'm thirsty.
So here we're at Grand Trunk Pub, and this is where our lunch stop is for the Motor City Bike and Brew Tours. And we have sandwiches, and we have a round of beer set up for everybody that's with our bike tour, and we kind of got our own section in the back. So.
Very cool. And all included in the price of the bike tour.
Exactly. So we try to make it all inclusive and make it simple for the riders. Oh, I wish I had my hat on. Oh, my makeup. So a big reason we chose Grand Trunk Pub here is their selection of all Michigan taps. At any time they have around 14 or 15 Michigan taps, give or take, stuff in and out. And it's a constant rotating tap list. So kind of as the seasons change, all these breweries kind of switch out into different beers. And then at the end, everybody will get a voucher, and they use that voucher over at Traffic Jam and Snug Restaurant, and they can get around there too.
Oh, wow.
So all that's included in your ticket.
Very cool.
Here's the beer in your bucket.
He's taking us to to some really neat places, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's nice to see the way they're cleaning the city up.
We've learned a lot about Detroit that we haven't learned before, and seen a lot of the parts of the city that we haven't seen before. And I've never been through Detroit really by bike, so it's interesting to see.
It's great. We're having a wonderful time.
Yes, it's fantastic. We love being able to come down and learn new things about the city, and this has been just more than we even expected.
Our first time being down on the riverfront and everything, so wanted to check it out.
Yeah, well, I'm glad he's showing off the best of the city and how it's biker friendly.
How about cheers?
So I'd like to thank everybody for coming today. This concludes the Motor City Bike and Brew Tour. I'm glad you guys could all come out here. Now I'm going to give you guys all a voucher, and you guys can all head into Traffic Jam, have a round, we'll all celebrate, relax a bit. But please feel free to jump between the two places and enjoy these two great breweries.
Well, thanks,
So thanks for coming.
I had a lot of fun. You've turned me on to biking and brewing as well. Did you guys all have fun? Yeah. Thanks, Steve. Thank you. There are plenty of things to see and do in Metro Detroit this month, and our calendar of events is up next to point you in the right direction. Tour Detroit's urban gardens and farms by bike or bus, and the Detroit Improv Festival brings home the 313. Hart Plaza dishes up ribs and R&B, and there's still time to rock the riverfront at their free concerts. Hit the grandstands for the rush of NASCAR weekend, and enjoy a taste of Africa at the African World Festival. The notorious 313 lantern-lit tours will fright and delight. Then find your fuzzy dice for the Woodward Dream Cruise. The DeQueener Cut hosts a city chic soiree on the Greenway, and the Michigan Renaissance Festival is back with a world of fun. Enjoy the beautiful scenery in the classic cars cruising Hines. Then watch the Big Fish pros at the Bassmaster Elite. The Blue Angels soar into town for Thunder over Michigan, then head to the zoo for Dinosauria before it's extinct. To learn of any changes, log on to visitdetroit.com or call 1-800-DETROIT. You've heard of the Sherwood Forest? Well, we've got the Sherwood Brewery. They're in Shelby Township on Hayes, just north of M59. They're a microbrewery, a winery, and they even make their own soda pop. And we are going to sample some of these local flavors. Well, Ray, so you guys are making your own beer, wine, soda pop here. Tell me about Sherwood Breweries.
Sherwood Brewery, we're a microbrewery that opened up in 2006. We're also a small winemaker and a small restaurant pub. We make all of our own beer, all of our own wine, all of our own soda. We don't have any Coke or Pepsi products. We also make a small selection of food. We have pizzas, burgers, salads, sandwiches, all made in-house. We try to do as much as we can from scratch. You know, in the summer we might have 2 to 3 different wheat beers. In the winter we're going to have more dark beers, stouts and porters, maybe a couple at a time. And then everything in between, seasonal beers like Oktoberfest or Maibach.
And I see you've got kids in here too. I would imagine that the soda pop that you make here is a big draw.
We wanted to make it exciting for everybody that came in. So instead of just having root beer, sometimes we'll have like a mango bubblegum soda.
Well, and it's really big in here too. I love the ceiling, that open look, all painted.
Yeah, and you know, everything's kind of grown over the years. We started off very sparse, almost no decoration. Now customers bring in beer bottles for us to put on the wall. In a couple of years, and it's growing.
Yeah. Well, can I see where all the magic happens?
Sure. So this is the brew house, and from here, like we've got the ground up grain or the grist, and then we add that into the mash tun up here. We mix it by hand. We load it in by hand and mix it where we have hot water waiting for it, and we add more hot water, and we have it at a set temperature where we'll get the grain or the enzymes that are naturally present in the malt to activate and break down the proteins, the starches, and the beta-glucans. And then we'll move it over into the kettle where we'll cook the beer. And that's also where we add all the hops. Once we get all the extract into the kettle, we'll cook it generally for at least an hour. Typically our beers will boil for at least 75 minutes. When it's done boiling, we'll whirlpool it in that same vessel. Once it's whirlpooled, we'll run it through a series of chillers, one that utilizes fresh water. And we'll move it into our fermenters, which are the 4 tanks over here. And alcohol is a byproduct of the fermentation process.
What's going on in here right now? What are you making
Right now we're making an amber ale. This is kind of a brief rundown. It's not everything that we have available right now, but kind of a brief selection of everything. For the sodas, we've got our blue raspberry soda. This is our diet cherry cream. And then this is our cream soda. On the wines, this is a Citrus Oasis. It's a white wine. Symphony, which is an American-grown grape. This is a white Zinfandel. We call it Paper Heart. And then this is Red Mosquito, which is a Pinot Noir Burgundy-style wine. On the beer side, we've got our Alaskan Sister Wit, which is a Belgian-style white ale. We've got our Abbeyversary, which just came out, but it's a malty, higher alcohol beer. And then over here, we've got our brown ale, an American-style brown ale. And then Entire Buzz Honey Porter, which is a darker beer. And this one we use a little bit of honey in there.
We'll start with Blue Lips, right? Yes, that would draw the kids in. That's
definitely
sweet. Very sweet.
The sodas are very sweet. We use Michigan beet sugar.
It's really, really very good. Okay, so this is the cream soda. This was my favorite when I was little. That's good. That's very good. And now, should we move on to the wine?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we're starting with the sweet white.
Yep, it's a Mango Citrus Symphony, which is Symphony's a white wine from
very nice.
California.
Very smooth.
Off dry, not semi-sweet. So
what does off dry mean exactly?
Just barely sweet. So it's totally not fermented out.
Oh, it's nice.
Whereas semi-sweet will be a little bit sweeter. This just comes across as not dry. Do you generally like Pinot Noir?
Yeah.
That's a smooth red wine.
Yeah.
It's not heavily oaked.
Oh, that's like fruity.
The Wit's like a fruitier wheat beer.
Okay.
You get some orange peel in it. We use fresh oranges. So we squeeze the orange juice right into the kettle and then put the orange peel in.
Okay. I love that.
This is the Abbeyversary. That's kind of a play on words for it. So we make it for our anniversary. It's Abbey style, but we're not allowed to call it a Belgian Abbey ale.
I like that. Now, what do I taste in this one?
You'll probably get some of the hop aroma.
Okay, yeah.
The finish, it's got very much a Belgian yeast character in the finish. A little bit of spice. This is our Cedar Rock Brown Ale. It's a very malty brown ale.
Okay,
Still very crisp and drinkable, and a little more hop character than an English brown ale would have.
That's good.
And then this is going to be our heavier beer. This is just made with a little bit of a chocolate malt and a little bit of a malt from Belgium called Coffee Kiln, which gives it that coffee aroma.
Yeah. I like that. I was expecting it to be really heavy, but it's not that heavy.
And it's not overly bitter.
No.
Comes off very smooth.
Okay, so this is so unique.
Well, we got 3 different ice creams here. This is a mint chocolate chip cream soda. This is Jolly Orchard apple wine ice cream, and then we have our hazelnut porter ice cream.
And these actually have alcohol in them, so you have to be 21 to order these two, right?
Yep. Kids can order the soda ice cream, but adults have
mint chocolate chip cream soda ice cream. That's good. Jolly Orchard apple wine.
It's like a green apple Riesling that we use.
This is nice and creamy.
You get like an apple flavor from it.
Yeah.
We've done that with caramel as well, more flavor. And that's usually the beer is the most popular by far.
Yeah, that's very good.
Anywhere you like.
Okay. All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Ray.
Thanks for coming.
And as you've seen, we have discovered Sherwood Breweries, and now you can come out and discover all these great local flavors for yourself.
Well, that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Veronica Vance. And remember, if you'd like more information on any of the places we visited, log on to visitdetroit.com. So until I see you next time, go out and explore on your own and discover the D.
To learn about discounts and special offers for featured attractions, plus how to get copies of Visit Detroit magazine, click on visitdetroit.com.
Production funding for this program was made possible by the Detroit Metro Convention and Visitors Bureau, driving tourism growth in Metro Detroit since 1896. More information is available at visitdetroit.com.